Hello, this is Satish Kumar. I'm here with my continuation lesson on self management in the topic attitude, and I've already loaded three lessons on attitude where we've learned about the components of attitude, we learned about the functions of attitude, and we also learned about the how attitudes are formed. So, in this lesson, we are going to learn about how and why our attitudes get changed. Okay, human beings know. See, we all know that the elections are held every 5 years. Okay, in India, and we also know that quite often the party which get elected 5 years before uh, does not get elected after 5 years. Why? It is because of the people's attitude towards that party which ruled for 5 years has changed. Okay, so attitude will change. It's a natural process. Okay, uh, when new informations are available. Okay, for example, the party which get elected 5 years before might have had a very favorable impression uh, among the people, but after 5 years, no, what will happen is people will see the party how it functions and the government how it functions, and they find that what they expected was not materialized by that government, so they may started disliking, and they might have decided to give a chance to another political party. But in another political party is also going to do the same thing, and once again they are going to elect the other party. That is a different story. But here what is important is the people's attitude have changed. Likewise, we all will form attitudes, and we also will change our attitudes. Even though some of our attitudes are strongly held, in fact, certain attitudes are very, we will hold it so close to our heart and we won't change it quite often. But there are other attitudes which are not that we are strongly held, or we will change. So attitudes could be changed. Okay, since attitudes are mostly learned, no, it is prone to change. Okay, so why people change their attitude? Okay, there are two reasons. One is the internal reason, that is, an individual internally feels that he has to change the attitude. Okay, I'll tell what it is. There is a process that goes inside an individual which makes that individual to change their attitude. Okay, I will tell it by theory. Then there is also external factors. Okay, other people might give new information. uh, Not only other people, other from outside sources, plenty of sources. See, if you open the TV today, no, or if you go and browse the computer today, no, you are presented with hundreds of information. In fact, if you open a YouTube, no, every day there is like 50 to 100 video suggestions for you, and all these are trying to change our opinions, views on several things. Okay, and because we are going to see something, we are going to learn about something, no, our attitude will change. Okay, naturally it will change. So the external media, external internet, computer, TV, advertisement, some people, there are people like gurus, huh? Like certain gods, god devotees, all sort of people trying to change our attitude. We are repeatedly bombarded with hundreds of information every day, so that our attitudes get changed. So there are two factors. One is the external factor, other is the internal factor, that is within ourselves. We itself feel that our attitude or our behavior has to be changed. Okay, so we will see this to how it is. Okay, first we'll see the internal factor. Okay, here a very important theory was given by a person called Leon Festinger. Okay, Leon Festinger, called cognitive dissonance theory, a very, very famous theory. In fact, the theory that I like most. Okay. So, what is this cognitive dissonance theory? Okay, according to this theory, see, it is a what is cognitive dissonance? Or see, we all will feel uneasy when there is an inconsistency between our attitude and our behavior. Okay, see, if we are holding an attitude that we smoking is bad, okay, I am giving a simple explanation. Smoking is bad, but we repeatedly are smoking. Okay, so there is an inconsistency between what you, the thought that you have and what you are doing. Okay, so this will create some sort of tension in yourself. Okay, but these days this kind of inconsistency, people don't feel that high. The cognitive dissonance is not that high. I will tell why it is not that high. See, actually any attitude that we hold, and when a behavior is not in align with that, no, we will experience cognitive dissonance. It is nothing but a kind of what you say, a mental disturbance. Okay, cognitive dissonance. You feel kind of irritated. Okay, when you want to do something and when you do something, it is okay. When you want to do something and you don't do, you will get a cognitive dissonance. For example, if you plan to do do today some work, okay, but if you don't do that, you will naturally feel cognitive dissonance. In fact, when in the beginning of the day, if you don't plan anything and if you don't do anything, there is no problem. But if you plan to do something and if you fail to do something, you will experience a cognitive dissonance. So when your attitude is something and when your behavior is something, there will be an inconsistency, and this will create some sort of cognitive tendency, that is some mental stress. Okay, and in order to reduce this mental stress, we will engage in either attitude change or in behavior change. So this is the process, the cognitive dissonance that is created by inconsistency between our attitude and behavior, leads us to change our attitude. Okay, quite often some people will change attitude or some people will change the behavior, and since it is naturally very difficult to change the behavior, people will change their attitude. Okay, so for example, smoking is bad. Okay, but we still smoke. So our attitude is smoking is bad, but we are smoking, that is our behavior. What we will change? We won't change the behavior smoking. Okay, we will change the attitude. Smoking is not bad, that bad. We are only smoking because we are under severe stress. I'm doing a lot of work, I'm just relaxing. Okay, and cancer will come slowly someday, we are all going to die. Like that kind of justification you create, and this kind of justification change in attitude, that smoking is not that bad, that kind of attitude change will happen. That is why these days smoking is injurious to health. The advertisement people will create a slogan called smoking is injurious to health, but nobody cares about it, everybody still smokes. Okay, that is the reason. Okay, so here we have seen that people have changed their attitude in this case example. So similarly, there are situations where people will change their behavior. Okay, for example, if you feel that there is no God, okay, suddenly your attitude changed. Previously you felt that you had an opinion that there is God, Okay, this is also an attitude. But suddenly you felt that there is no God. Okay, you become a, what you say, atheist. And now you won't go to temple. And if you are compelled to go to temple, you feel a bit uneasy. Okay, in fact, I will see people who are not willing to go to temple, they won't go. So this is, they won't go to the temple, they will change the behavior. Okay, so I'm just giving an example. There are hundreds of situations. Okay, hundreds of attitudes. Okay, so whenever we felt a cognitive dissonance, that is when our attitude and behavior is not in consistency, we will either change their attitude or we will change the behavior. Most often it is the attitude that gets changed. Okay, but that doesn't mean that we change our behavior. There are situations where our attitude is very difficult to change. As I said earlier, no, some attitude we are holding very dear to our heart, so those attitudes will not be changed. In that case, we have to change the behavior. Okay, if you think that drinking is wrong, no, you won't engage in drinking. But if you engage in drinking, normally you will feel an inconsistency, mental tension. So you will try to change either your attitude or your behavior. See, there is also an inconsistency between two attitudes that will also create cognitive dissonance. Okay, see, previously you held an attitude which may be different. Now you are got some new information, and you have formed a new attitude. So this previously held attitude and new attitude may come with inconsistency. In such cases, also we will change the older attitude. Okay, and that is why I said in my first class that older attitude will not be forgotten, it will go inside as the implicit attitude. Okay, yeah, I hope you remember that. Okay, so uh, when there is a inconsistency between two attitudes, okay, old attitude that we held and a new attitude that we are framing, in such a situation also there will be mental tension. In such cases, we will either discard the old attitude or we will won't buy the new attitude. Okay, you could see this happening every day. See, previously you might have believed a lot of traditional stories and myth that have been told to you, but when you learn science, no, you won't believe that. Okay, in your childhood when you heard some mythological stories, you will be very happy and you will believe everything. But when you study scientifically, you will question some mythological beliefs, some practice traditional practice that is asked to be practiced by you. Okay, so in such cases also, your attitude, the previously held attitude, traditional attitude, was changed by the new information of science. Okay, in such cases, so there is a cognitive dissonance created in ourselves when there is a inconsistency between an attitude and behavior, or between an attitude and a old attitude and a new attitude. In such cases also, we will engage in behavioral change. So we will do, as I said earlier, no, we will either change our attitude, we will either change our behavior. That is one way of dealing with it. Okay, there are other ways of dealing with it. That is, we will find information so that we may not feel too much of tension. In a example, no, if a person who is going to an interview, okay, for a job, and if he fails in that job, no, in that interview, what he will say is, he will say that I heard that company is not that good. I'm not worried about failing that interview. So you will try to form such an attitude. Even though you failed that interview, you will say that that company is not a good company. I will find a better company. I will pass that examination. Okay, you will form that attitude. Similarly, you will also trivialize the attitude. For example, you will say that it's not such a big job. I will have a better opportunity. In fact, I was not made for that job. My my capacity is something very big. okay, trivialization. You will also engage in such an attitude. So these kind of things also you will engage in, so that you don't feel stressed out. Okay, uh, most often people do these kind of things whenever they feel some cognitive dissonance. These are all mechanism in which every day we will try to remain what you say, peaceful. Okay, because every day there will be a inconsistency between say, attitude and behavior. Okay, you might feel so good about your for example, if you are a person who is supporting Modi and you like Modi, no, these days, no, every day there are plenty of news coming that Modi is not that great, is not that great prime minister, like that. There are information coming daily. These things will create some sort of discomfort in you because you like Modi so much. So you may be wondering whether my attitude towards Modi has to change or not. So there are this consistency. There are plenty of such things. Okay, if you open your Facebook, you will find hundreds of information to change your view. There are people who are engaged specially to change your people's opinion, and they do this as a way. Okay, so our attitude, our mental stress will keep on happening, and we will keep on changing our beliefs or attitude or engaging in such an activities. Okay, so you could find these things, and sometime when your cognitive dissonance is very high, no, and you can't do anything, you will engage in escapism activity like drinking. People who drink, no, they are all affected too much by their cognitive dissonance. Okay, so that is not actually good, but some people will go for that. When the stress is so much, when the anxiety is so much, no, it is natural that person does not have the capacity to deal with it. Okay, and he will engage in such kind of activity, and that is natural. Okay, it is his capacity, how much he was able to deal with it. There are even educated people who can't deal with big situations. So unlearned person, uneducated person might fall prey for that. Okay, we can also change perception of our behavior. As I said earlier, no, we may engage in saying that we are only smoking because we are stressed. Okay, so these kind of different thing we may engage. These are all internal change of attitude. Okay, in my next lesson I will tell the external factors that are involved in attitude change, and that is not part of self management because that is coming from outside, but we also need to know because how people are trying to manipulate us. Okay, what are all the things have been done to us, so that you can be very clear, resist those things. Okay, and what are all the mechanism involved in resisting the change of your attitude. Those two things we will see in my next lesson. Okay, bye.